Welcome to a video from digitalifestyle.com. In this video we're going to look at the latest upgrade to Windows 11, the 2023 update, might also be called the 23H2 update, 23 being year, H2 second half of the year. Unlike some previous updates, this is not a huge 4 gig download. This is a service install, so it will come down as a smallish patch, and then Microsoft sort of switch these features on, so it'll be quicker to install and contains new features, but it's not a massive build. There's the inevitable push of AI features in this. Microsoft talked about earlier in the year, so this does get some AI features. There's redesign for File Explorer, the support for new zip formats, compression formats, taskbar, sound settings. There's quite a lot of changes actually. So let's first have a look at the File Explorer. So File Explorer has got a redesign. It's got rebuilt with the modern framework, and so it has some interesting new changes. You'll see here as I open it there that the address bar has moved up here to the top, and that's all part of this redesign. There's also a details pane here which you can turn on and off, which gives you information about the files. So I'll show you that in a second. You'll notice this new gallery feature here, and that is actually based off the OneDrive Photos collection. So if you go into the Photos app, you'll see your OneDrive photos and in there, and this is the same for gallery, which means it's part of the file picker. So when you do save as or open, you can access those files in your gallery now. So for example, if I open up Paint, so here you see I've got Paint. I can go to the gallery and open pictures directly from the gallery using the new file picker. So here you see the new details panel. If I click on a file there, you get the information like that, and the share dialog's been slightly redefined in this as well. So this is the sort of the file share via cloud and so on. If you've got Azure linked account, then you get some recommended stuff showing up in there, which is based off Microsoft says AI recommendations, but it's using your Microsoft account, not your consumer one, but your corporate one, your Azure one, Microsoft 365 one, to recommend some details. The other thing that's changed with File Explorer is support for extra compression formats. So here I've got a 7-zip file. Normally Windows wouldn't be able to do anything with those, but I can extract that, but I can open that like that. So you can see I've been making some images for my album artwork. So yeah, you can open those. So it supports TAR, RAR, 7-zip and TXZ. So there's quite a few additional formats. You can't compress them in those formats, but you can unzip them. You notice as well they've moved these the command icons around as well, so it just makes it a little bit easier to access and a little bit less cluttered. So I think the new File Explorer looks pretty good, and the gallery is good as well, so I do like that. Now, I mentioned AI before. With this release, Microsoft have built in Windows Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI assistance. You may have seen it if you've done the Bing Chat thing, and really at the moment this is more of just the Bing Chat integration, so you can ask it questions on here, like the usual Bing Copilot stuff, the usual Bing Chat stuff on there, ask it for like searches and things like that. So so you can ask it a question and it'll go and use the Bing Chat AI and to bring your data back. So that's okay, it's kind of just built in. You could already do this in the browser, so it's nothing new, but there is some integration with Windows which is new. So let's stop that. So I can say turn on dark mode, which it understands, and yeah, then I can say yes, I want to turn on dark mode. So there you can see it does that. There are some others. You can turn Bluetooth on and off, you can turn on Do Not Disturb, and you can take a screen shot There you go. That is all the things I really found you could do with it. Yeah, it's okay, but yeah, I must admit it's quicker just to go and hit the print screen button or take a screenshot. There we go. The screenshot button's done its job there. Some things you could say like turn off Wi-Fi or something like that. It just doesn't understand and gives you results that don't really make any sense. So turn off Wi-Fi. You could do turn on Bluetooth, but when you do turn on Wi-Fi, you get just a search for results for Windows 10. So not really what you like, and I don't want to turn off Bluetooth. So yeah, it's okay at the moment. I guess there's a lot more to come with it, and it's just early days on it yet. So I understand that, but there's not much you can do with it at the moment. Right, if we look over on the taskbar, there's some changes. You'll see this notification countdown here has gone from a number of unread notifications to just a bell to show you whether there's any notifications or not. I don't know if that's progress or not, but that's the change that they've made. There are some additional settings which I'll show you in a second, which actually do make a difference. And also on the start here, you'll get, if you're not using OneDrive to back up stuff, it does come up here and mention about that. In terms of the actual taskbar settings, you can turn the combine off, and you can hide the labels. Now I think on this virtual machine it's showing always, but you can actually turn that off when you're not running on a virtual machine. I'm running it through remote desktop on the virtual machine. So what's changed here on the quick settings is the sound settings. So here you can see I'm using remote audio because I'm using remote desktop, but you can see the volume mixers there now. So if I put something to play some audio.
Coming up this week on the Digital Lifestyle Show, we have Paul Gilby, organiser of...
So there I was playing some audio through Edge there, and you can see there that showed up in the volume mixer. So it's a lot easier to control it, and you can switch between your sound outputs. On here I've got the remote output, which is the remote desktop one, but you can just control. So if you want the system volume to be higher than Edge, maybe you've got another application, maybe Spotify, you can control that from here as well. So you can set the individual volumes. You could do that before, but now it's all in one easy to find place. So if I go, so I mentioned settings before, we've got a new home page here, you can see. So it shows you sort of panels with various settings, recommended settings. They're almost like widgets, I suppose, but these panels, rather than just going straight to the system page. So you've got a quick look at the OS from here, and then you can then go off and do what you want it to do. Or in settings, there are some extra ones. If you've got an RGB peripheral, like a keyboard or something like that, you can have dynamic lighting. I haven't got one on here because virtual machine, but yeah, you can change that on, so you can control your RGB keyboard or mouse or lights or whatever through Windows directly, so that API, as long as the device supports it. So it saves you having to download stuff as well. Also on that as well, we've also got native HDR support as well. So if your system supports HDR, you can have HDR background desktop wallpapers if you've got a HDR monitor. So you couldn't do that before. Also in settings as well, something else, you can write directly with your pen as well, although that was removed on previous builds. I'm testing this on the beta builds, but you could write directly in with a pen. Over on widgets, there are some changes to the widgets. In really the widget, there is new widgets, so you can plus there, and you can pick a new widget, and so I could pick, say, the Spotify one like that, and pin that, and you've got a link there to take you to apps that have widgets built into them like that. So these support widgets, and you could add those. Now a new feature is our improvement to is the Windows backup. So Windows backup has been overhauled, so it now backs up additional areas of the system, and it does it to the cloud. So this is the option. You can do a backup here. you can choose what you want it to back up, which is already backed up on OneDrive, but it'll remember which apps you've got installed, your accessibility, your personalization settings, your some credentials and things like that, so you can back it up there. To restore it, you can just when you go through the out-of-box experience, when you restart or when you rebuild a machine or do a fresh install, get a new machine, or do a clean install with ISO, you can then let it restore those back up and it'll restore these elements for you. So I'll probably look at that in a separate video, because that's quite an interesting way of setting your PC up and to go through everything all over again. So those are the main changes that I wanted to show you in this 23H2 or the Windows 11 2023 update. It's probably rolling out in October. There's an event coming up on the 21st of September. Microsoft are holding, so they'll probably talk about that. There might be some more features coming yet. I'm testing this via the Windows Insider beta channel, but it will go to release preview probably in the next few weeks, and then from October it'll be available as release. It's a small update with some nice little features and well worth applying. So thanks for watching this video. You can find out more on our YouTube channel and on thedigital lifestyle.com.